Who is Elijah in the Bible? Elijah is a significant figure in the Bible, specifically in the books of 1 Kings and 2 Kings in the Old Testament. He's known as a prophet who lived in Israel during the reign of King Ahab and Queen Jezebel around the 9th century BC. Elijah is most famous for his miracles and his fervent defense of monotheism. In a time when the Israelites were being tempted towards the worship of the Canaanite god Baal, one of his most notable miracles was calling down fire from heaven to consume a sacrifice, proving the power of God over Baal. He's also remembered for being taken up to heaven in a chariot of fire, which is a unique departure from life, as most prophets and people do not have such an experience. His story is often seen as a symbol of hope and faithfulness to God's commands. Apart from that, Elijah appears in the New Testament as well, where he's seen as a precursor to John the Baptist, and also appears in the Transfiguration of Jesus. His story and character have had a significant impact on both Jewish and Christian traditions. The story of Elijah in the Bible. Elijah's story in the Bible is quite fascinating and filled with miracles, divine interventions, and prophetic messages. He appears in the 1st and 2nd books of Kings. Elijah's life story begins in 1 Kings 17, where he prophesies to Ahab, the king of Israel, that there will be a severe drought in the land as punishment for the worship of the Canaanite god Baal. During this drought, Elijah is sustained by ravens sent by God to bring him food, and later by a widow who provides him with food and shelter. One of the most dramatic events in Elijah's life is the contest on Mount Carmel, 1 Kings 18. Elijah challenges the prophets of Baal to prove whose God is real. He proposes that they both prepare a bull for sacrifice and then call on their respective gods to send fire to consume it. The prophets of Baal fail, but when Elijah calls on God, fire descends from heaven and consumes the sacrifice, the water around it, and even the stones of the altar. Elijah also performs other miracles, including raising the son of the widow from the dead and parting the waters of the Jordan River. In 2 Kings 2, towards the end of his life, instead of dying, Elijah is taken up to heaven in a whirlwind with a chariot of fire and horses of fire. This dramatic departure is one of the most well-known parts of his story. Elijah's life was filled with direct communication with God, miraculous events, and fervent defense of the worship of Yahweh. His story serves as a powerful testament to faith and divine intervention. It's quite a captivating tale, don't you think? Do you have any other questions about biblical figures or stories? Just comment down below.